what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. If this is your first time checking us out, we greatly appreciate you making us a part of your Saturday morning. Q, what's happening, man?
Man, having a good week this week, man.
Yeah. Been busy week for you?
Yeah, it's definitely been a busy week. If nobody's heard yet, started the Wake Up morning mix show on 107 for weekdays. So that's pretty exciting, man.
Congratulations,
Don't
man.
you
Heck
dare
yeah.
hit that tomato sign.
No, I was actually going to hit that for you, man.
You were going to hit tomatoes.
just the applause, man. That's all. Congratulations, man.
Nah, thank you, man.
Heck yeah. I know you're a night owl. So how is it getting up in the mornings?
Tough.
Yeah, I bet.
You know, it's tough getting up 6 o'clock to go do that 7 a.m. mix.
Yeah.
But it's worked out.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of getting in the routine. So
Heck yeah. Yeah, it's been a pretty hectic week for me as well.
And you had a birthday.
I did, man.
Hey.
Yeah. I'm aging backwards though.
No, you're not.
I am.
No, you're not. I see the grace. I see the
coming
grace.
in,
Yeah, I see the grace.
A little bit. Yeah, man. But the birthday was good. Hung out with family. You know, it's just blessed to see another year, man. A lot of people don't make it to see, the next year.
And then you haven't had the opportunity because you weren't here last week to talk about Houston.
Yeah.
And how that was with the what's his foundation's name?
So it's the J. Reed and Deed Foundation.
J. Reed and Deed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was fun, man. Made the trip to Houston, was invited to participate in. So J. Reed and Deed, Justin Reed, Chiefs safety. He has a foundation, J. Reed and Deed, and he teamed up with 3 other athletes, well, 2 other athletes, and one wife of Houston Astros baseball player. So it was Justin Reed. It was the wife of Brickman. I can't remember his first name, but his wife led her team, and then Chester Pitts, who former Houston Texans offensive lineman, and then the most wanted man right now in all of NFL. He had name just
The name escapes you.
Yeah, name escaped me. But he had
too many tequila shots for the birthday.
Too many. But yeah, no, he had his team, and basically it was a dodgeball game.
Yes.
Dodgeball game. So played golf that morning on Saturday, and then went to the dodgeball game. Needless to say, my team won. So I made I didn't make the trip for nothing. So it was a fun time. It was definitely a fun time. But you know what? The thing about it is I've never played like that many dodgeball games in a row.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially on that hard court. Were you guys on a court or like an indoor field?
So it's dope. So I don't know if you've ever seen the indoor soccer stadium or indoor soccer field here. I can't remember the name of that one, but it's basically like a bar, like a bar lounge type thing. Yeah. And they have like it where it's kind of net and sunk down low around the bars, kind of around this little field. But it was dope, man. Like they had a DJ there, and
so drinking and athletics
and food, good food too. Houston, they had an outside patio area. It was dope, man. I wish we could pick that spot up and put it here in Kansas City. Like it was because I asked the owner of the space, and he said that like normally they have, and it's indoor soccer league. They also play dodgeball. Like they have an actual dodgeball league. Yeah. But it's any of the local youth sports facilities here, but a bar.
Yeah.
And a small like turf field. So we didn't have to run far, but yeah, I was getting after it, man.
Yeah.
They had with DeAndre, it was DeAndre Hopkins' team, but they had they had Adrian Peterson, of course, Justin Reed, his brother, Eric Reed. It was a bunch of athletes and people there. So yeah, it was fun.
Sounds like a good time. Jay Reed, we need that official invite next year.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. We can definitely, because I didn't know if I was gonna be on his team or Chester's team, but I ended up being on like the old guys team.
Yeah.
Like the current athletes and the former athletes. But like I felt good. I felt good while I was playing, but then after, I was telling Andrew, I was like, if I had not been working out leading up to this, I started to work out back in March. So if I would have been definitely hurt. Heck yeah. All right, let's get to today's headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on The W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
All right, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce win a celebrity golf match against Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. So Kelce and Mahomes defeated the Golden State Warriors, sharpshooting twosome of Steph and Klay. It was a good match. Did you get to check it out?
I didn't get to check it out yet. That's something I want to check out because I saw the clip of Patrick saying he likes to keep it interesting. That was I like that, Patrick.
I do too. Just watching it, Steph is a golfer. Like I think he could be on a pro tour. He's that
easily
good. Yeah. And so when you think about just Steph playing against, Travis and Patrick now, like I don't know how much like Patrick plays. I know Travis gets out a little bit. And I think they interviewed Travis at the beginning of it, and they asked like, how much have you gotten out? Or how much do you get out? And he said he's been playing, on the regular because he knew that this was coming up. So I know they play a little bit in the off season, but not to where Steph plays he's in California.
Yeah.
So he plays year round. And then he's donated money and has his own golf team with, I can't remember which HBCU.
I think it was North Carolina A&T.
Yes. So he goes there and plays, and I just know Steph's good. So Klay, I've never seen Klay hit a golf ball.
Yeah, and you figure again him being out there in San Francisco, that would be somewhere that he could play again year round.
Yep.
And I don't know how Klay is on the business end of things, especially off the court.
I think he's very business savvy. I mean, he started his own shoe brands with I think it starts with a K. But yeah, over in China, and he's into that, and I know he's into like some other business opportunities overseas. So,
and you figure a lot of those deals happen on the golf course.
True,
sometimes.
True. Yeah, but they didn't play any of Klay's shots.
Really?
No,
he wasn't looking that good.
Like to where Draymond was like, "Come on, Klay," like because they were all mic'd up, and I think Draymond forgot, and he was talking to Von Miller. So Von Miller was like the commentator for the football side.
Oh, really?
And Draymond was the commentator for the basketball guys. And Draymond was talking to Von, and Draymond was like, "Man, they ain't hit none of Klay's shots. Klay's playing terrible." And so Klay was like, "Hey, Draymond, I can hear you, bro."
I need to
and
watch
you could tell Klay was like really like nervous. He even said it at the beginning. He's like, "I don't know if it's nervous, but it's it's just anxious." Yeah. And you could just tell Klay was like the other guys were out there having fun, more relaxed, and Klay was just uptight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you could tell. I said this to myself. I said, if I go out there, you could have played at least one of my shots. Because I'm gonna at least drive the ball. First of all, when you in a tournament like that, there has to be some type of an agreement.
Yeah,
like because you're playing best ball. So when you're playing best ball, it's just like, all right, you're going to have a guy that's going to drive you. Then you're going to have a guy that's going to be able to chip you. There's a putter, and then a guy that's going to be able to bring up the rear. So if the first guy that drives you out there, this next guy is I'm going to play it safe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they should have had that, like, all right, Klay, you drive, or you chip, or Steph, I'm going to drive. But you can tell that they didn't have that chemistry.
No, not at all. And you would think that those two would play golf a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Chiefs versus the Dolphins game in Germany is already sold out. Go figure.
You expect that?
I didn't.
I mean, I expect that. Again, you have two of the more electric teams in the AFC.
Yep.
And then again, you also have the story of Tyreek facing his old team.
Yeah.
So there's a few storylines within there. And then on top of that, is this the first game in Germany for the NFL?
No, they had a game in Germany last year.
Okay, so Germany was last year.
Yep.
But again, I mean, that's almost a warm up to host the Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
So that and I don't know how big Germany is on the Super Bowl, but if the NFL is still going there, I'm pretty sure. You know, they promoted the Super Bowl over there, and then, hey, get ready, we're coming back next season. So I mean, it fell in line having the Super Bowl champs there. So
yeah, and the thing about it is too, it's they compared this game. Vivid Seats told Front Office Sports that the site traffic for the game spiked 753% from Monday to Tuesday. And right now, Dolphins Chiefs has the second most expensive average ticket price at $854 of the NFL season, behind the New England Patriots home opener honoring Tom Brady at $939.
Yeah, and I mean, depending on how well Tua plays this year, I mean, you might be looking at a potential playoff matchup. So
you could be, because the game is November 5th. So if you guys have not got your tickets now. We're not promoting Vivid Seats or StubHub unless they want to write us a check.
Right.
But yeah, you guys can go and check out and see, whoever, whatever ticket site that you like, and go check out and see what the prices are. I mean, we're going overseas, so people are expecting to spend money.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and I looked at the flight ticket price, and for a regular seat, coach, I guess that would, what you call it, $12 to $1,400, depending on who you're flying through.
Sheesh.
Which I thought it would be more.
Yeah, you would think it'd probably be more in the $2,000 range, but
yeah. First class, I checked that out. It was around. I saw one as expensive as $4,500, all the way up to like $10,000. Depending on who you're flying through.
I'm not paying triple to sit a few seats ahead.
But you're flying that long, you can they got the seats where you can lay down. I want to see where I'm sitting back and I'm chilling.
I'd probably want to lay down.
Yeah.
Especially on it's more than 12 hours?
Of course it is. Yeah. You get the TV, you get the food. Yeah. I don't want to sit there with my legs crammed on a Spirit flight headed to Germany.
What's the first movie you watch on a flight that long?
Ooh. I think it would have to be something that's, fairly new that I haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to choose anything that I haven't, because I'd be like, man, I'm going to sleep. But it'd have to be something, like if I'm choosing something today, like just say I'm going to catch a flight to Germany today, I'd choose like Transformers, the new Transformers, or it'd have to be like a series.
Yeah.
On Netflix or something. Make sure I've downloaded all the Netflix series that what series am I watching right now?
It's not a Netflix series, but I'm watching The Bear.
The Bear. What's that?
The Bear.
What's that about?
It's about a guy that leaves home to become a world-renowned chef.
Mm-hmm.
Very talented chef, but then he moves back home to run the family restaurant, which is I think they're in Chicago, and it's like a family-run. I think it's an Italian beef.
Oh wow!
Situation.
Yeah.
And so he's looking to make it a much better restaurant, upscale,
okay,
remodeled. It's the second season just came out.
Huh.
Easy watch. It's a good watch.
Okay, I'm watching Manifest.
I haven't finished that, but
yeah. So I would definitely catch up on Manifest. I'm still in the end of the first season. So yeah, definitely get my however many hours in finishing Manifest.
I mean, there's 4 seasons of that. You might be able to finish.
Of course. Yeah, you have to catch it. You can catch up on any season. Like if you want to watch Game of Thrones, catch up on anyone.
That's what I might do. I would probably go back and watch season 4 and 5 of Game of Thrones.
Okay. All right. So the Eagles, your team.
Yes.
Brandon Graham. Now, I want to get your honest opinion on this. So Eagles, Brandon Graham. He said the Chiefs got blessed in Super Bowl 57. The field was slippery. So the Chiefs were able to be dominant over the Eagles in Super Bowl 57. So Brandon Graham was asked on some radio show earlier this week. And he said, you need traction to be able to get off the block. And we were slipping a lot. He said, I don't make excuses. I just know that's what was being talked about. And he's trying to get out of our own head a little bit too. So do you agree with that? Is it fair for him to say that?
Yes, it's fair for him to say that. But
there's a but.
No, there's always a but, especially when it comes to Glizzies. But we didn't see the Chiefs team slipping a lot. We probably saw them slip a little bit. But you could tell the Eagles weren't prepared as far as having the cleats that are long enough to handle slippery fields like that. And I mean, we saw the defenders for the Eagles slipping a lot. And I still have yet to rewatch that game on TV, but the but in that is the Eagles needing to be ready for that. Like if the field is too slippery, especially if not in warm-ups or even not after the first half, you don't go in and change the spikes on your cleats. That's a team issue. That's an equipment issue. Right. So yes, a slippery field can play a role. I think we had some years back, I forget which NBA team it was, but it was some kind of like condensation on the court from a hockey game that had happened.
I remember
that in the previous week.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that's on the home team,
true,
to get the court ready. So there's not much you can do there. But in football, if you're slipping on the field, and we talked to the field maintenance guys, we talked to them about how long it took them to prepare the field and get things ready. A month or so in advance from the Super Bowl.
And they grow the grass outside.
Like we talked to them about that. So yes, it might not be perfect conditions, but that's football,
right?
And you should as a team, and especially a professional team, you should come prepared for that. Yes, it's a factor. You always have these factors that are natural causes, whether it's weather or whatever.
Should that be added to the equation of why they lost? Be honest, Q, because to me,
no, because I mean the game was close.
Yeah,
I mean the game was won in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So could you? Yes, but I mean the Eagles started off on fire.
Right.
They allowed the Chiefs to come back.
Yeah.
I mean it's an excuse. It's not an excuse, but it's an excuse.
Okay, that's all I want you to be honest about.
Yeah. No, I'm completely honest about that.
Okay.
An L is an L.
Yeah.
And I don't want to blame referees. I don't want to blame one call because there's a whole game. But if the field is too slippery, you got to change those spikes and those cleats.
And my thing too is the Eagles did not have a single sack in that game.
Another thing, yeah.
So to me, you're a professional football player, right? And you talked about the cleats. You talked about making adjustments in halftime. If you understand that the field is slippery, this isn't your first go around. This isn't your first rodeo.
Yeah, exactly.
You played football on slippery conditions before, so you know your footing.
Especially from Philadelphia.
You know your footing, and if you're slipping, I'm sure the offensive lineman is
that too.
You know, so you're playing on the same field. Maybe they were just better than you, right?
And that's the thing that I hated about that game is that the Eagles were completely unmatched when it came to coordinators. The defensive coordinator of the Eagles was definitely unmatched when it came to the offensive coordinator coordinating team
Yeah.
of the Chiefs, you know, between EB and Coach Reed. The Eagles defensive coordinator was just completely unmatched.
Yep.
And you saw it in the little speed out play that they ran.
Right.
And being able to scout that and see that from week 3 or 4,
and they ran it twice
in the season, and then running it twice again. The Eagles were short on making those adjustments, and that's one thing you have to give up, especially to the tandem of EB and Coach Reed, is because they are able to make a lot of different adjustments on the fly, and really kind of bait teams, especially in the first half.
Yeah.
Like we talked about it on the Red Hour about how the Chiefs always start slow.
Yep.
And I kind of feel like that's like a bait for Andy Reid and for EB. You bait a team, you kind of lull them to sleep, and they think they have you on the ropes, and then all of a sudden Patrick Mahomes doesn't throw an incompletion for the second half.
Right.
So it's like,
right.
so yeah, if you're the better defense, you have to show up and you have to like be prepared for that. And
Exactly.
clearly
I
they
agree.
weren't.
I agree.
So
I agree. I agree. I appreciate that, Q. Thank you for keeping it real.
I am a realist, Steve.
All right.
Now, if this was flipped around, we'd have,
but it's not.
We'd have 12-minute videos of the referees, the cheerleaders having a white substance around their sneakers. Like it'd be all kind of conspiracy theories if the Chiefs lost, but they didn't.
Right.
You know.
All right, and we have we have a little bit of breaking news that I want to talk about real quick. I know we have some other topics, but I want to talk about this for a second. So there's been reports that Damian Lillard has requested a trade.
I mean, are we surprised?
From Portland.
Are we?
I am. I'm surprised.
How?
Because of, and I'm saying I'm not surprised as far as like, you know, him at some point he's going to want out. Right.
And that's I think that's my point. But yeah,
at some point he's going to want out. However, he's been very loyal,
very loyal,
very loyal,
patient.
Yeah.
He's, and I mean,
to the point where, reason why I'm saying that, to the point where he's been so loyal that I'm just like, and maybe he's just gonna tough it out. Maybe
you can't, and not in a league like today where, I mean, Damian Lillard is a veteran at this point.
Yep.
I mean, we've seen him in the league. I mean, over 10 years so far, close to, if not. And Damian Lillard is one of those players that if you need that extra piece to get over the hump, just to even get in the playoffs, or to even make more of an impact in the playoffs, get deeper in the playoffs, you need a piece like that is just a straight dog, a killer on the court. You need somebody that's going to be able to go and get you 30 to 40, hit the tough shot from half court over a Paul George, like be able to create some type of excitement around the team. And Portland hasn't been able to match that with the talent that's in the NBA right now. And it's tough. Like, we always want to make the comparison of the NBA today and how it was in Jordan's time, you know, the late 80s, early 90s type of thing. But it's a totally different league. You have tons more talent from top to bottom, position 1 through 5. I mean, you have centers, 7-foot centers that can shoot from anywhere on the court.
He's going on year 12, by the way.
And that's what I'm saying. He's been in the league for a very long time, and to spend 12 years in Portland, and Portland not put the pieces around him. Like CJ McCullough was he was a homegrown piece in Portland. But after those two split, Portland hasn't done much.
And I don't like to, y'all talk about me all the time for always throwing Kobe's name in there, right? Like, but this situation is similar, very similar. Where Kobe wanted out and they were complaining, oh, well, Kobe, you're getting $20 million. At this point, $20 million a year, $21 million a year was a lot of money.
Because he was talking to Denver at some point.
He was talking to Denver. He was talking to the New York Knicks. I mean, there were a lot of teams where they were like, oh, well, Kobe wants out. Kobe wants out. And he was like, y'all this is post-Shaq. He's like, y'all either going to put some people around me or I'm out. Like, so, and what did Jerry
that's
Buss
when
do?
they went to go get Powell. They went
Lamar Odom.
Yeah.
You got all these guys, Derek Fisher. You had all these guys that Rick Fox. You got a lot of veteran guys that, wanted to, of course, talk about Rick Fox, want to be in LA. Not a lot of people want to go up to Portland. It's like, I'm going back to DeAndre Hopkins for a second. We talked a little bit offline about, DeAndre Hopkins, his business acumen. Does he want to play in Kansas City, or rather go somewhere else where he can, continue with business post football life? Not a lot of people want to go to Portland, right? Like, there's not a lot to do in Portland. Of course, it's West Coast. However, it's not a lot happening.
And especially in the Northwest, yes, because when you look at the economy up there, most of the economy you're looking at is probably from a college sports,
of course,
stance.
Yeah.
I mean, you have both Oregon universities, you have Washington and Washington State, both universities up there. So yeah, when you look at that Northwest region, Seattle maybe. But I mean, Portland, I feel like, is almost the little brother to Seattle.
Yeah.
So there's Seattle has its attractions, but yes, from an NBA stance, no, not in the wintertime. I'm not going to Seattle or Portland in the wintertime.
Yep.
And I think for Damian Lillard, I mean, if these are true between Miami and Brooklyn being the preferred destinations, I mean, look at those two teams. You could talk more about the Brooklyn team, but I mean, Miami, him and Jimmy Butler.
Yep.
I like the tandem on paper, because they're both dogs. They both can go not only play defense, but score the basketball, but also share the basketball. So and the Brooklyn team is a young team, but again, they have the pieces. You have the Mikal Bridges, and I mean, I'm not gonna say Ben Simmons, but I mean,
but if Ben could get in the right headspace,
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, you've got a contender. I mean, if you throw Damian and Lillard in there, I mean, you still got you have a veteran team. You got guys like Patty Mills, Spencer Dinwiddie,
Broderick's favorite,
Nick Claxton. I mean, you still have a lot of guys, and just throwing a name like that, I just don't know if Brooklyn is a space for him. I just don't. I don't know. I mean, you still got in the day, it's still New York, right? Like,
and then even in that trade package, I mean, there could be a couple of guys in there that are put in that package. I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie, I don't know if
I would think Mikal Bridges is out.
And that's what I'm saying. You would have to give up a couple of pieces, but then also in free agency, there's a couple of people that you could place with him. But
give me Ben and give me Mikal Bridges for Dame. Because I mean, Mikal's still still young, right? Like, he's only 26, and then Ben, you're it's a gamble there, but I mean, if you're going to get some draft picks and you're going to get Ben Simmons, let's just say Ben Simmons, he's only 26, he still has at least 4 more years left in the league if he could get it together. But I mean, it's a gamble. But hey, if you're in rebuild mode anyway, Brooklyn's like, take Ben Simmons off, get him off our books, give me that $35 million salary
that's a high salary
that he's getting. And give me Mikal Bridges, a guy that's just like, all right, we're going to rebuild. I don't know if you can rebuild around Mikal Bridges, but it's a start to something. So yeah, I just good for Dame.
And then yes, I want to see Dame get out the West as well. Yeah, okay. I think I would want to see him go. I mean, in the West, you still have the Warriors, whatever they look like, next season. You still have Dallas.
Yeah.
Whatever they look like next season. You still have Phoenix.
Yeah.
And then I feel like there's one more contender in there.
Lakers.
I'm forgetting. Yes and no.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm not really looking at them as, as the contender in that right, because again, I mean, you still have Golden State and Phoenix.
Still got Memphis.
Memphis is the other one that I'm thinking about. So you have yes, you worry about Memphis. I mean, you worry about Ja Morant.
I think when you think about Ja, and since we're talking about Memphis, there was some news yesterday that Derrick Rose. I think Derrick Rose is the perfect mentor for Ja Morant. I mean, when you think about Derrick Rose and the Chicago, and he was in Memphis, he went to college there. Folks know him. He has the street credibility. He's now a family man, knows how to manage I mean, you remember his, what was it, Reebok deal?
Yeah.
Or was it, no, did Derrick Rose Reebok or Adidas deal? He had one of the, so his business mind is there. He has the street. So I think he's perfect, and Ja Morant looks up to him.
Yeah.
So he's a perfect person to go in there. They don't want Derrick Rose to come down there and have minutes. They want him to come down there. They gave him a 2-year, $5 million deal to come down there and mentor Ja. That's a $5 million deal to go be a mentor to him.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah. But I mean, that back to Damian Lillard, I want to see it. Those are reasons I want to see him get out of the West. Yeah. The West is really good and I mean the league is very good in the guard realm.
Of course it is.
You're not a good team if your guard play isn't elite.
Yeah.
And that's what he is. I mean, he's a 2-guard, correct?
Yep.
A guy that can shoot from anywhere on the court.
Anywhere.
Day and night in and night out. Yeah. I'm glad he's on this first step on the way out of Portland. Because are we not tired of having this Damian Lillard in Portland's loyalty to Portland conversation?
I am.
Yes,
I was that of a couple of years ago.
So again, like I don't want to keep having this conversation with his next contract that comes. Like, no, I don't want to keep having that. So
yeah, conversation that we will have right now is that Dennis Rodman says that Larry Bird wouldn't make it in the NBA in the current era. He'd be in Europe. So in a recent appearance on Vlad TV, Rodman was asked about comments made by Gilbert Arenas, who said Bird would probably beat LeBron James in a one-on-one matchup. If Rodman said if Bird played in this era, I think he'd be in Europe. I'm just letting you know, man, he'd be somewhere over there.
I can't say that, especially now with the success that Nikola Jokic has had.
Mm-hmm.
Very unorthodox player. He looks slow on the court. Yeah. But I mean, he had a case for winning a third MVP this year. Yeah. And then also being a champion. I can't back that up, but I mean, who's to tell Rodman? I mean, is he trolling here?
I've never heard about Rodman and Bird having any beef. So I think he's I'm just what he thinks. I mean, because Rodman knows basketball. No matter what his off the court antics or whatever his personal lifestyle is, he still knows hoops. Mm-hmm. Like he's one of the greatest basketball players ever. Mm-hmm. And so that being said, he's just going off of what he sees in today's league and what he's seen when he played.
Mm-hmm. And I can't say that I agree.
Because I mean, who would you say that Bird reminds you, or somebody now that reminds you of Larry Bird?
And I mean, it's the Jokic comparison. I mean, if he's going to be playing in Europe, the Jokic comparison, because I mean, he's not a guy that's very stocky. Like he's not a cut up guy. Yep. He's not the guy that you're looking at him thinking, oh, he's
not really athletic.
He bench presses 500 pounds, like stuff like that, but. Larry Bird was a magician on the court, and especially when it came to shooting, when it came to handling the basketball. Yeah. I mean, he was that, but I mean, also you look at strength-wise, I mean, a lot of these players are definitely a lot more stronger, a lot more athletic. It's like I said earlier, it's tough to compare that Jordan era of the league because now, I mean, these players are far more athletic. They jump way further out the gym. So, I mean, you have a, I think he has a point in, I don't know. I don't know.
I would say Larry Bird more reminds me more closer to Luka.
I can give
without
you
the
a-
handles.
Yeah.
I mean, Larry Bird, I mean, he could shoot the ball out, lights out. But and it's a different league. Like, you need to be able to handle the ball as a guard, right? Like, so Larry Bird was really 6'9", he was 220. So yeah, he was more of the stretch four before there were stretch four.
Yeah.
So could he play right now? Yes, because he could still shoot.
Still shoot the
Like,
lights out. Yeah.
what has the game evolved to? Is run and gun, shoot. Steph, you talk about Dame, all these guys shoot threes. So that would be more of Larry Bird style. He just athleticism. I didn't really see it from Bird. Now I know it was different. It was more the great white height, right? Like the athleticism really wasn't there from what I saw, and in the games that I saw Larry Bird play. I mean, Magic really didn't jump out the gym either.
No. Yeah.
So I just right now I think he could play. I just didn't see Larry's ball handling. Like, and I know the game is advanced right now. Would he be able to be a mode in that? I mean, it's different times, different areas.
I mean, because even looking at the almost rivalry that Bird and Jordan had at the time too, when you have competitors like that, I mean, you're going to figure out how to win. And I mean, Jordan was not flawless against the Celtics,
right?
So, like, there's some dog in that fight, and especially with Larry Bird. So I don't agree.
Okay. Do you agree with J.J. Watt joining CBS Sports as an NFL analyst? He said he will appear on NFL Today. So former Houston Texans star J.J. Watt, he's not unemployed for long. He took to Twitter on, I believe it was yesterday, and talked about him being able to join CBS. Now, he had two videos. The first that we'll play in just a second is one where he called it CVS. And then he comes back and makes a correction. Let's hear from J.J. Watt.
Quick bit of news for you on a Thursday morning. I just got a job at CVS.
He said CVS. Let's hear the other one.
Little pro tip out there for anybody starting a new job. Don't screw up the announcement. It's not a good way to start your first day on the job, especially if that job is at a global network with millions and millions of viewers, hundreds of Emmys. You just want to start off on a better foot. I will be working at CBS this fall. He was on the hat the whole time. I really should have known. But I am extremely excited to be joining JB, Coach, Boomer, Phil, and Nate. Talk a little NFL this fall, talk a little life, have a global platform to make fun of my brothers on. It really is a great opportunity. I'm very much looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to talking NFL with all you fans this fall and hopefully giving you some knowledge, giving you a little experience, and maybe some laughs along the way. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to join CBS. Let's have ourselves some fun.
This is going to be interesting, seeing J.J. Watt on TV, talking.
And I don't know how good JJ is at talking sports.
I think he's pretty good. I've seen him in like post game interviews and things. I think he's very analytical, and he's funny too.
Yeah, and I think that's something I would need to see myself to see how like entertaining he is. Not necessarily looking for like entertainment in my, my football talk, but I mean you have to be entertaining and somehow. And I mean I would compare him to, like a Ryan Clark, a former player that does his job very well. I mean, not only talking football, but talking sports as a whole.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, this is CBS as far as like him talking football and being an NFL analyst, but I don't know if I would need to see JJ in the role to really say if I like him in that role or not. Because I mean, JJ Watt's been like one of the favorite personalities around the NFL really for the last like decade or so.
Long time.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna say he's a Gronk and he's not like a bonehead like Gronk.
Yeah.
But JJ Watt, being able to have that conversation and talk week in and week out about the different teams. He would have the insight because he faced a lot of the guys that are currently playing.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see how he holds up his own.
Now, Brittany Griner says the WNBA should have allowed other travel options before airport exchange. So Phoenix Mercury star Brittany Griner says the WNBA should have changed its travel policy well before she was harassed at an airport while flying commercially earlier this month.
I agree. I mean, there's a lot more protections that they should have on these WNBA players, just like they have with NBA teams. And I mean, NBA teams all of them fly private by now.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is an ongoing fight for women's sports.
Yep.
I mean, even going back to a couple of years ago, the facilities between the men's and women's NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have to get it together in some way. And I don't know if that comes within partnerships of different Fortune 500 companies or how that works out, but the WNBA has to do something.
Yeah. Now, of course, the story goes, Griner, she was detained, of course, back in February 2022 before being exchanged in a prisoner swap between the United States and Russia in December. She was harassed by a YouTube personality at a Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport on June 10th. So the harassment opened up the conversation about the WNBA players and travel for games. Now, I feel like but the WNBA as a whole, they should be able to garner some kind of relationship with one of these airlines.
And that's what I'm saying.
I mean, their season isn't as long as the NBA. They don't play as many games. There should be some kind of something that should be a partnership, because these ladies can sell merch too.
Yes.
Like you should not have any of these WNBA ladies walking through a regular airport. At least give them a VIP treatment. Now, do they get that? I don't know, but it sounds like they don't. If Brittany Griner was walking through an airport and she was able to be harassed by a YouTube person.
Yeah, if anybody can come.
It's
ridiculous.
And nowadays, they have those Reddit. You can go to Reddit and find out flights and who's on different flights and see the flight schedules and all that. So knowing that, the WNBA got to be better.
Got to be way better.
Yeah. Well, the conversation's back open. So we'll see. All right. So Leonard Fournette, his car burned to a crisp on a highway. Let's see his car. So NFL running back Leonard Fournette experienced a terrifying incident last Tuesday. His car burst into flames on the highway. Luckily, he escaped without injury. The former Tampa Bay Buccaneers star showed the footage of his Durango, which you guys just saw. And if you're listening to us on 100.1 FM, remember you can watch us on all social media platforms at the W Show KC. So the footage showed his Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat burnt to a crisp. The front part of the car was absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, that's terrible. I wonder what kind of issue that was. But I mean,
I've heard of people's like dashboards, burning and catching fire.
Hopefully he wasn't like super racing it on the freeway, but
never know.
Never know.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. Coming up, we will discuss Simone Biles. She's set to return to competition for her first time since a few years ago.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. This is the W Show.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers. KC WeSpin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
FPS Security is here to secure Greater KC protection where you need them most. Social events, birthday parties, corporate events, weddings, small businesses, and more. Call FPS Security at 816-379-3600 or visit fpssecuritykc.com. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Reliable, fast, and professional service.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors: classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com to purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it, message us, and we will talk about whatever topic you want. So Simone Biles, she's set to return to competition for first time since Tokyo Olympics. So Simone has been out since 2016, and now she's planning on coming back. The 26-year-old has 4 Olympic gold medals to her name and dealt with mental health problems during the Tokyo Games, and she dropped out of several competitions. She cheered on her 2 teammates who won silver. What do you think about her coming back?
I'm ready for her to come back. I mean, this is a top tier athlete.
Yep.
That's in gymnastics. And then hopefully she's in a better headspace. She just got married recently. So you would hope life is doing better for her.
She married the NFL player, right?
I think he's an NFL guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully she's in a better space and she could get back to that prominence.
Yeah.
Because I would like to. When's the next Olympics? Is that 20?
It's coming up in 26. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So ready to see her gearing up to get ready for that. And I mean, that's 10 years in between Olympic appearances.
It's crazy.
So,
that's very crazy.
So
and the crazy thing about it too is the fact that it brings more into the conversation of mental health and not only in sports but just in personal life as well. We don't know what she had going on. We can say, oh well, she's a top tier athlete, Olympic gold medalist. What could she possibly have going on? However, I mean, that just shows that athletes are human.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe she wasn't at her best. Maybe she could have been dealing with injury. It could have so many other things.
So many things
she could have been going through. But it's good to see that she's going to be the right headspace and being able to compete.
Yeah, definitely ready to see her.
All right, Travis Kelce. He's being called a snitch. So Travis Kelce estimates up to 80% of NFL players smoke weed. So NFL's marijuana policy was adjusted in 2021 and nixed the suspensions for positive tests. It also changed the amount of testing that occurred to just once a year during a 2-week window at the start of training camp.
Yep.
Because players know the timing of the test, it's a breeze not to even get into trouble. Says Kansas City Chiefs star Travis Kelce. He said, if you just stop in the middle of July, you're fine. He told Vanity Fair. And a lot of guys stop a week before and they still pass because everybody's working out in the heat and sweating their tail off. Nobody's really getting hit for it anymore.
I mean,
Twitter. So people took to Twitter. It's like, oh, Kelce is dry snitching. He's snitching. My guy Kelce ain't snitching, man. He just
I mean, this has been a known fact in the league and especially around players 10, 20 years.
Yep.
Like we've known this for a very long time. And yeah, that's like I'm not calling it a harsh truth. I don't even know if he's uncovered anything because I feel like Ricky Williams talked about this.
Yeah, I mean, you have so many guys that talk about, I was high before games.
Yeah,
who's it? Le'Veon Bell just came out and said he smoked weed before every game.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, guys,
make it try.
Yeah, guys already know how to beat the system, especially with that. And that was part of the conversation around Josh. What's his name?
Josh Norman?
No, that wasn't Josh Norman. That's the cornerback.
What are you talking about?
The receiver.
Oh,
I can't even think of his name.
Yeah, Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon. Yeah, that's what I'm like. It's not Norman, but Josh Gordon. Even in his couple of times having positive drug tests, it was always players talking about, to like when to stop. I mean, when the secret drop is coming.
Yeah.
All like you get advance notice, basically.
It's like getting the test answers before the test.
So how do you fail it? But that's
people still fail those, even if you got notes.
Exactly, which is terrible. But he's not dry snitching. Get that out of here.
Yeah, no, I mean, you and it's not only in NFL; it's in other leagues too. I talked to NBA guys before, and they was like, and this is 10, 15 years ago.
They
talked to NBA guys, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, man, we know when we're gonna be tested." Like, they just don't make the league look stupid. Protect the shield. That's basically what it is. So it is what it is. All right, coming up, we're gonna take a quick break. Coming up, we're diving into our Head of Love It segment. We'll be right back. This is the W Show.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
FPS Security is here to secure greater KC protection where you need them most. Social events, birthday parties, corporate events, weddings, small businesses, and more. Call FPS Security at 816-379-3600 or visit fpssecuritykc.com. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Reliable, fast, and professional service.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors. Classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com to purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it, message us, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. Let's get to our Head of the Love It segment.
It's that time for Love It or Hate It.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
All right, starting off with our sneakers of the week. The Air Jordan 7, white and infrared.
Yeah.
Like these?
Yeah. Those are our go.
Yeah, they're still sitting.
Instant.
So obviously, not everybody likes them.
I mean, how much are they?
$170.
You can get with it.
The Nike Dunk Low Clear Jade. These are fire.
Love these. Might be my favorites of the week.
These are fire.
Yeah, that color is... It's on.
All right, New Balance 9060 Prism Purple.
These are probably the worst of the list, but I'd probably still wear these.
Yeah, these are fire. Number one, they're comfortable.
Yeah, these are one of those that are so ugly they look good.
That's funny. Yeah, Nike Dunk Low Team Gold. I like these.
I like these two.
Yeah.
It's similar to what we had a couple weeks ago on the show.
Really? All right, so majority of NBA rookies pick LeBron James over Michael Jordan. Hate it or love it.
Yeah, young guys. I don't even think any of these guys were alive when Jordan was playing.
Right. So when a handful of players from the 2023 draft class were asked to pick between Los Angeles Lakers superstar LeBron James and Chicago Bulls legend Michael Jordan, a majority of them picked James. I mean, just because I think same. It's just age.
I saw a tweet that the guy was like, yeah, my kid was like, asked my kid who Michael Jordan was, and he was like, yeah, the guy that wore LeBron's number.
That's funny, man. That's funny. That's funny. Tobias Harris said some Sixers fans would trade him for a cookie. So Crumble Cookie made a counter offer. So Crumble Cookie tweeted Tobias Harris, said if at Tobias Harris stays with the Sixers, everyone in Philly gets a free Crumble Cookie.
Hey, Broderick likes this one for sure. Broderick would definitely give him up for a Crumble Cookie.
Shout out to Crumble Cookie, man. Shout out to Crumble Cookie. All right, so Dolphins star Tyreek Hill tried to give the man $200 after slapping him, a report says. So, of course, we've been talking about this the past few weeks. Tyreek Hill went out on Father's Day. They chartered a boat going fishing. The boat was parked in the wrong spot. The captain, it was docked. The fishing boat was docked in a private dock. The boat's captain had returned gas from the gas station. He was talking crazy to Hill. Hill said he felt disrespected and slapped the guy in the back of the neck as he was walking past.
He slapped the captain
in the back of the neck. Basically, to me, now I don't condone hitting people, but to me, it's just like, man, get out of here. Like, no matter, but you put your hands on him. So you can't put yourself in that situation. But to me, it's just like, man, get out of here. And especially if he's talking crazy to you too, and you got the background, you got the past, you can't go doing that. Like, you can't go doing that.
Like, I don't want to joke about CTE, but the joke is joke is there. Check him and Tua for CTE.
Yeah. So he offered the guy $200. He definitely turned it down, and now he's getting ready to turn that into a bag.
You better add six. You better add 3 more zeros to that.
Yeah. So now the NFL is now reviewing the video. The NFL had not gotten involved before, so now they're involved.
See.
All right. So ESPN, they've laid off. So the names of some affected folks are Todd McShay, Steve Young, and friend of the show, Jalen Rose,
and then Susie Colbert.
Yep. So Van Gundy, Max Kellerman, Johnson Colbert, Jalen Rose, Matt Hasselbeck, Steve Young, Todd McShay, Ashley Brewer, College Game Day, David Pollock, Jason Fitz of the Fitzsimmons Show, Jordan Cornette. A lot of people going, man. They got to make way.
So is this making room for
McAfee's contracts? Yep.
But also, is this also to get Uncle Shay?
You never know.
Okay.
ESPN passing the bag.
Mm-hmm. Jalen Rose will land on his feet.
Oh yeah, he will
easily.
He will. I think Max Kellerman will as well because he does a lot with UFC.
Yeah, I mean a lot of those people will land on their feet. Because ESPN's on a decline.
And Van Gundy as well. He does TNT the game, so he'll still be able to call NBA games. So I think he'll be fine as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see. All right, what's your 4th of July plans?
I might go out to the 107 thing, but I'm also hosting family too. So,
okay, nice.
So we'll kind of see how that day ends up. But 4th of July is usually a chill time for me. I traveled last year, so this year I'm gonna kick it with family.
Okay. Yeah, me, I family. Little fireworks. Got the youngins. I guess my house is gonna be the place to be. So we'll see how that goes.
Hopefully you have like a Casamigos fountain.
Hey,
I can pull up.
Hey, man, it's on deck. Come on through. All right, we definitely appreciate everyone who joined in on today's show. We want you guys to definitely have a safe and great 4th of July weekend. Jazz is somewhere on a boat.
Probably next to a Casamigos fountain.
Probably next to a Casamigos fountain. All right, so we thank you for watching us. Until next week, for Steve, Q, and Broderick, we out.
Peace.
The views and opinions expressed at the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundations, or affiliates.